Welcome back to Avi News, the channel where we bring you the latest, most accurate, and explosive updates on the Iraqi Dinar, Vietnamese Dong, and everything related to the long-anticipated global currency reset. If you've been holding onto your IQD or VND, or even just watching from the sidelines, today's breaking news will absolutely shake your world. We're witnessing history unfold in real time. Buckle up, because the numbers are in and they are unlike anything we've ever seen before. As of this hour, the Iraqi Dinar has officially surged to $5.90, and the Vietnamese Dong has skyrocketed to $4.29. Yes, you heard that correctly. These aren't rumors, speculations, or hopium. They are confirmed values now appearing across internal banking systems, Tier 1 and Tier 2 platforms, and select exchange centers globally. The global currency reset is no longer a future event. It is happening right now. This is not just another market fluctuation or regional financial update. This is the long-awaited manifestation of the RV, the revaluation. The final piece of a massive puzzle that has been meticulously crafted over decades by global economic alliances, central banks, and high-level monetary authorities, and now the veil is being lifted. For months, insiders whispered about back screens lighting up, rates flashing in closed-door redemption centers, and mysterious activity at institutions like the IMF and World Bank. But until now, the public had no solid evidence. That changed today. Screens have gone live. Redemption appointments are rolling out. And we have reliable confirmation from multiple Tier 4B insiders that these rates $5.90 for the Iraqi Dinar and $4.29 for the Vietnamese Dong are now live tradable values on institutional platforms. Let's take a moment to unpack just how monumental this is. For years, the Iraqi Dinar traded at fractions of a US cent. It was held down by artificial controls, political manipulation, and the lingering economic scars of war, sanctions, and instability. But as Iraq stabilized, secured oil contracts, and built global trade partnerships, the calls for a currency realignment grew louder, and in 2025, the world finally responded. The $5.90 rate places the dinar among the highest valued currencies in the world, even surpassing the Kuwaiti dinar and the Bahraini dinar. This is not just a restoration of value, it is a complete redefinition of Iraq's place in the global economic hierarchy. And what about the Vietnamese Dong, traditionally one of the lowest valued currencies in Asia? The Dong now stands at an astonishing $4.29. Vietnam's rise as a manufacturing powerhouse, its deepening ties with BRICS nations, and its participation in global de-dollarization efforts have laid the groundwork for this dramatic leap. For those who held V&D for years, sometimes mocked, often doubted, this moment is the ultimate vindication. The Dong has arrived, and it's taking its place in the new economic order. Now let's talk briefly about the global currency reset, the GCR. For many of you watching, this isn't a new term. You followed the updates, read the intel, and maybe even attended webinars or group discussions about what the GCR really means. But for the broader public, today's revaluation might be their first encounter with the concept. In essence, the GCR is a comprehensive realignment of global currencies to reflect true asset-backed value. It's about correcting decades, if not centuries, of imbalances, corruption, and fiat manipulation. The old financial system was built on speculation, debt, and centralized control. The new system being ushered in today is rooted in transparency, gold backing, sovereign wealth, and decentralized financial justice. What we're witnessing today is not just about IQD and VND. These two currencies are leading the charge, yes. But they are part of a broader shift. Sources confirm that multiple other Tier 2 and Tier 3 currencies are showing movement behind the scenes, including the Zambian kwacha, Zimbabweans structured for humanitarian use. The Indonesian rupiah, and even the Iranian rial, these revaluations will unfold in stages over the coming days and weeks. But make no mistake, the dominoes are falling, and the world will never be the same. Let's get into some real-world confirmation. We've had reports this morning from exchange centers in Reno, Zurich, and Dubai confirming that dinar holders were allowed to schedule and complete appointments with the new rate locked in. In one documented case, a TFRB participant with a verified 10 million IQD note walked away with $59 million USD, fully taxable under the newly adjusted capital gains frameworks. Yes, taxes will vary depending on jurisdiction, but that's a conversation for another video. What matters now is the liquidity is real. Banks are honoring the rate. Redemption centers are open. And folks, this is just the beginning. Another piece of this incredible puzzle is the US Treasury's silent but deliberate response. As of late last night, updated memos were circulated among Tier 1 banks including Wells Fargo, Chase, and Bank of America, outlining procedures for high-value redemptions, including privacy protections, security measures, and wealth management. Consultations. We're talking about entire wings of financial institutions being converted into dedicated revaluation zones, with NDA letters, asset structuring teams, and even quantum financial system interfaces. This is the clean-up on all everything moment, because the old system is being dismantled as the new one comes online. And speaking of the quantum financial system, or QFS, it is playing a critical role behind the scenes, the new rates we are seeing for the Dinar and Dong are being implemented directly through QFS algorithms, ensuring no fraud, no manipulation, and full traceability. Every redemption, every conversion, and every fund transfer is being logged on the new secure digital ledger, ensuring that what's happening now cannot be undone, tampered with, or hidden. The QFS doesn't just represent a technological upgrade, it's a moral and philosophical one. It's the foundation of a new global economy, where corruption has no place and wealth flows according to real value and merit. Let's address the obvious question. What should you do now? If you are a dinar or dong holder, the first step is not to panic or rush. While this may feel like a now or never moment, the exchange window is open for a reason. In fact, insiders say this first phase will last for 11 to 14 business days, with TFRB appointments being rolled out progressively. The goal is to avoid bottlenecks, ensure full verification, and maintain stability as trillions of dollars in new wealth is suddenly introduced into the system. If you've already registered with a redemption center or have been waiting on a notification email or 800 number, check your inbox and messages now. Many of those communications have already started going out in stealth. Make sure your identification is in order, your currency is authenticated and neatly organized, and that you've consulted a licensed financial advisor if necessary. This is not just a transaction, it's a life event. It's a once-in-a-lifetime transition from one era to another. Be prepared mentally, emotionally, and spiritually for those who missed the wave or are still skeptical. Know this, the revaluation is not a lottery or miracle, it is a result of calculated economic recalibration you can still benefit through. Indirect means investing in markets that will explode in the post-GCR world, supporting humanitarian projects, or helping family members and communities who are fortunate enough to be holding these currencies. This is a rising tide, and even if you didn't own a boat, the shorelines of opportunity have now shifted forever. The geopolitical implications of this move are massive. As Iraq's and Vietnam's currencies skyrocket, the US dollar, euro, and other fiat systems are rapidly being recalibrated to accommodate the new SDR basket values. Meanwhile, BRICS nations are preparing to launch their own asset-backed unified trading platform, with gold, oil, rare earth minerals, and sovereign labor output serving as core backing elements. In short, the power dynamics of the planet have just shifted. This is no longer a world dominated by Western central banks. It is a multipolar economic environment that prioritizes fairness, stability, and mutual benefit. We are already hearing whispers that by the end of this month, at least, 6 more currencies will be revalued. And perhaps even more shockingly, sources suggest that the US dollar is being quietly positioned to undergo a debt-free relaunch, backed by US natural assets and gold reserves, through the US note system rather than the Federal Reserve. Note, this would be the final nail in the coffin of the Fiat era, and the beginning of a new age of financial transparency. There's also a humanitarian layer to this transformation. With trillions of dollars suddenly unlocked, thousands of Dinar and Dong holders are now positioned to fund hospitals, schools, debt relief projects, agricultural development, and even entire eco-villages. Redemption packages are being tied to structured payouts that incentivize long-term wealth management, not sudden, reckless spending. The architects of this reset aren't just handing out wealth, they're guiding a transition to conscious stewardship. To those of you who held the line, who believed in this moment through years of silence, mockery, and misinformation, this is your moment. You are not just witnessing history. You are a part of it. And to those who still doubt, let today be the day your eyes open. This isn't a dream. This isn't a test. This is the global curve.